Hi guys, and welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be talking about the amazing time that I had at Basingstoke Comic Con, where I met David Tennant. Yes, this happened about 2 months ago-ish now, and sorry for the delay on this video. I've just been very busy. There have been lots of stuff going on, stuff to do with EastEnders, stuff to do with Last Summer Wine, and I just kind of lost track. But we're finally talking about my amazing day, the day I met David Tennant. Now, it was very great. I got to meet him, got to shake his hand. Didn't get to speak to him that much, but overall, it was great though because I met David Tennant, and that's mental in itself, to be fair. But I'm just going to be talking about my day and how that kind of day was alright. Because it was kind of a complete accident originally, because we originally booked tickets for the day after because David Tennant was booked up, but turns out the last minute there was time. So on I believe it's the Saturday or something. The Saturday there was time, so we went in, and then we got to meet David Tennant. Whereas if we had gone the other day, we wouldn't have been able to. But there was just a small little gap where we could go in through, and yeah, so we got there. And I got to meet David Tennant. If times were a bit different, we would have probably not have met David Tennant, and it would have been the other day. But it was great. I met David Tennant, and that is completely mental in itself. And yeah, let's get into this video. So please remember to like and subscribe, and let's get on with the main video. So we entered the building in Basingstoke, which was a hotel. I can't remember the name of the hotel specifically, but we went to the hotel, and then we queued up and got these badges things so that you know that they're around a neck thing, and you'd wear that and then get a pass so you could go in. We also got this, which is there's a little photo data on there. Yeah, you got one of these to let you know that you were going into obviously meet David Tennant and get your photo done, which I did. But the queues were very long, but we got there just in time so we could get through the queue. We got there early, so we get through the queue a lot easier. There was loads and loads of people though. I feel really sorry for the people who were all the way at the back. David Tennant has obviously attracted a lot of people to Basingstoke, and that was quite a lot of people. As well. Very nice how they give you a little thing with the Basingstoke Comic Con thing. You also got greeted with your little wristband thing when you entered, which is a nice little thing. And also, obviously, this I've just shown you. And also this, which is the timetable for the day. So, obviously, they had the photo shoot for David Tennant. Sorry about earlier, I said it was the Saturday, I meant the Sunday. I got a bit confused there. But the photo shoot basically happened from like 10:30 to 1 o'clock, which is quite a long time to be fair. And then we watched this section about Daleks after we had the photos done, and basically they had these like four Daleks, and they had Dalek Oswin, and they had Dalek Sec, and they had a Dalek called Baby Ray, which they kept on mocking as well, which was very funny. Very great overall. I'll put some photos up on a separate video later on in the week, so you can see that. But yeah, so you kind of saw these Daleks, and they were very cool, and they kept on making jokes about people asking them weird questions, and then the bloke who was mainly leading it, I can't remember his name, but he was like dressed up like Sylvester McCoy and things like that, and he said, oh, how did Daleks go to the toilet and they all squirted that water? Yeah, it was a bit funny, but a bit strange as well. But they were asking quite a lot of funny questions like, oh, who's your favourite Doctor? Who's your favourite companion? And things like that. It was like things like that, which is very funny. And also Dalek Sec was there, and Dalek Sec is my favourite Dalek because I've had this for quite a few years. Okay, it's like a Dalek teddy thing. It makes some noises and things. Do a review on that as well. But I've had that for a few years anyway. yeah, so they had Dalek-sec, and that was really cool. Got to get some photos with Dalek-sec. As you may have seen on the community tab, I uploaded a photo of Dalek-sec, and also a few of the other Daleks as well. We got to walk past them as well. They were like lined up, and they also did a Dalek patrol thing where they walked around the hotel. That was all very cool stuff and very enjoyable. There was also a thing where they had like some kind of cosplay thing, and they had this American guy, and it was like oh, where do you buy this costume? And like Amazon, and things like that. Yeah, it's all kind of funny. Yeah, so that was very cool. The Dalek thing, as I mentioned earlier, was great as well. Also, the main event of the day was obviously having the photo with David Tennant, which happened so quickly. Meeting David Tennant for that short period of time was very cool. I didn't get to speak to him that much, really, but I got to shake his hand and kind of. So that was kind of it, really. But it was very different to other conventions and things I went to. It's probably, I'd say this one was very different to the last Wine one I went to, and also very different to the one I went to in 2019, because they were more open. There were less people, and there was loads of people here crammed into the hotel, which was quite a lot. I bet they got a lot of company that day and a lot of customers, because there were loads of people and they were all there just to see David Tennant, really. So that was crazy. I do really like this photo. I think it's very nice. I'm holding the Sonic there. It comes across a bit odd on camera because it's flipped backwards and things like that. But yeah, overall that was really brilliant. I also got to go around the shops there, a few shops there. I went with my friend Brandon. So big shout out to Brandon, and big shout out to you. Whilst I walked around the little shops they had there, I bought this, which is a very odd little crystal thing, a little crow. I think it's very cool. Very cool little piece there. Also picked up this, which is a figure. These were figures. They cost me about a couple of quid, but it's quite nice. I didn't have it in my collection, so nice little Doctor Who figure. And this is of I've forgotten his name now. Francesco, I think his name, something like that. And he's from that Vampires in Venice episode. He's played by this actor, who's the figure that I'm holding. He's played by Alex Price. Alex Price was in Father Brown, which I'm a massive fan of Father Brown. We haven't covered Father Brown on the channel yet, but hopefully that'll be coming in the future. I always say that I'm going to make a Father Brown video, and I never do. So one day it will come. One day Father Brown video will come. But this is a great little figure. Great little figure. He's in quite good condition, but he is missing a few pieces, like his cape and his sword. But you never know, if I get a proper one in really good condition, I might customise this into a Sid, and then that'd be quite cool. Another figure I picked up is it's a Silurian. I'm not sure which Silurian it is, but I think it might be Madame Vastra, but I'm not really sure on that front, because I don't know whether this one is based on the one from Hungry Earth, and I've forgotten the other name. It's the Chibnall episode from Series 5. But yeah, it's a nice little figure anyway. She's a bit damaged though on the ear bit, but great little figure. So it was a great, amazing day. Obviously, meeting everything and seeing all the Daleks, and yeah, it's just really enjoyable. Really, thoroughly enjoyed it, and there were quite a lot of people there. A lot more than the other conventions I'd been to before. The one it's very different to the convention that I went to in 2019, and very different to the last Wine 50-year event. Very different to both of them, because there was a lot of people. But the short time I spent with David Tennant, shaking his hand and getting a photo is, I'm just amazed that I met David Tennant. I can say I met David Tennant, one of the best doctors ever, ever in history, and he's still the Doctor now. So I mean, that tells you quite a lot, to be fair. And he seemed like a nice bloke, and Yeah, I always thought David Tennant would be taller. I don't know whether that was just me. I think the guy was like 6'1" or something, but he is. I always thought he would be taller. To be fair, so yeah, I just thought I might mention that. But it was great meeting David Tennant. And moving on to something else, the big event that I forgot to mention. Um, so David Tennant did a thing towards the end of the day, and after that we went home, which was basically him talking about Doctor Who, talking about all the other things he'd been in, Marvel and all this kind of other stuff that he's been into, and he mentioned Harry Potter and things like that. And they had the American guy who I mentioned earlier interviewing him, and he was saying like Scotland's greatest actor and things like that, things like that. It was all very funny. And so moving on to questions that kind of David Tennant was asked. It's a shame I put my hand up, and I didn't get to ask a question though because there was loads of people in this room, like unbelievable. There were so many people there on that day. I can't believe how many people showed up. To be fair, quite a lot. But it was great. It was a great day anyway. But some of the questions David Tennant was asked, he was asked about why did he return to Doctor Who, and he said, well, he said the reason he returned to Doctor Who, if everyone else is returning, why not he return anyway? Which kind of made it more obvious to why he would return. Um, he didn't really mention much about um, well, the 60th anniversary specials, but he did mention other stuff about other TV shows he's been in, like Good Omens and things like that, which I've never really watched. But he was asked about would he was he offered to return to Harry Potter, because as you know he appeared in Goblet of Fire, and to that he replied saying he was never called, he was never asked, and yeah, they never rang back. And even though supposedly, according to the guy in the audience, he was in Bart Crouch Jr. was in the later books, which I didn't really know, to be fair. So that was kind of interesting. We could have seen David Tennant in later Harry Potter films, but that was never to be. But yeah, it was still great seeing David Tennant, and he was quite funny. He was quite jokey at times, and there was a girl who asked him to be in her Be Real, and she got up on stage, and that was quite funny. And David Tennant did that, and they did the photo for this girl's Be Real. That was rather funny. Um, and David Tennant was like, "This is sure this is not some kind of dodgy spy thing." You know, like, that's what David Tennant said, which was very funny. Um, yeah, and also some bloke said, could you give a shout out to my friend Michael?" And then he says, "Oh, you're getting people to check up on me again. That blooming Michael Sheen." That's what he said, something like that, and that was quite funny. As I remember. He also mentioned about his son being in a new series of Good Omens that he's in. I've never watched Good Omens, so I don't really know what that's about. But yeah, he also said that he really misses Bernard Cribbins, who passed away last year, as you probably remember. I did a video in memory of Bernard Cribbins last year, and he also mentioned Elizabeth Sladen, how it was great working with her, and that was kind of sad that they're both dead now, and yeah. It's because he got asked a question, who is my favourite companion, and then he said, well, he can't really choose, but he would say them, because obviously he likes them and all that kind of stuff, which I thought was very nice, because he didn't say who his favourites were, but he just said it would be unfair because he obviously liked working with them a lot. R.I.P. Elizabeth Sladen and R.I.P. Bernard Cribbins. Legends. Legends. But yeah, that's kind of what he had to kind of say, really. And I think it's great that David Tennant's returning to Doctor Who. I think that's just I think it's incredible that he's back in Doctor Who, that he is the Doctor. But it feels a bit odd, really. Now, I've been a Doctor Who fan since 2014, and David Tennant was the Doctor long before that. Because I was kind of young, quite young, when David Tennant was the Doctor, and Matt Smith was the Doctor, so Capaldi was my kind of Doctor. But yeah, I am looking forward to seeing David Tennant as the Doctor. I've seen all of David Tennant's previous episodes of the Doctor, and I am thoroughly looking forward to the fact that David Tennant is the Doctor again. But I am looking forward to Series 14, and obviously the specials and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, hopefully we can cover more of Doctor Who on the channel at some point in the future. But the next video that hopefully will be coming will be on Last Summer Wine, who's my best third man in Last Summer Wine. That'll be coming soon. And yeah, hope you all enjoyed the video. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the video soon enough. Bye for now.